Well, hey there, Vikings. Welcome back to the playthrough. We are on episode 12 currently, and you catch us on the way back from our most recent expedition into the Black Forest. We killed a couple more trolls. We are taking a bit of a longer route home as well, where we're just going to basically explore this last little bit that's connected to the mountain on our way back. We have also popped the Ike buff on the way back as well, so that you can see the slower stamina drain. Oh, that was a troll there. We're just going to avoid him. And yeah, we also gathered a few more food items from the Black Forest. We've got some thistles, finally, which are a food item we're going to need in later cooking recipes. And we also got some carrot seeds, which we're going to need to grow with a specific tool that we should be able to make fairly soon. So we are going to have to get started on a garden when we have the ability to do that. Yeah, for this episode, we're just going to explore some more of the Black Forest. We are also going to explore some more of the meadows to the north, because I do believe that there is some Black Forest up there that we could find. We need to, basically, we need to find a fairly sizable Black Forest biome that's not surrounding a mountain or anything like that. The reason why this Black Forest biome that we've started in is not fantastic is because there's a mountain slap bang in the middle of it, which is taking up the majority of the biome space. But it's also, because it's a mountain, it rises up quite high, and a lot of the Black Forest biome itself is sloped and has a lot of these stone slopes on it that nothing grows. There's nothing there really. It's kind of just blank space. So we haven't found any burial chambers or crypts. We've only found a couple of the troll dens or the troll nests, whatever you want to call them. And yeah, we're just not. It's not the greatest Black Forest biome for what we need. Although we have found more than enough tin and copper nodes in this Black Forest to do us for pretty much the entire playthrough, I'll be honest. So the good news for this biome is that there's enough tin and copper right next to our base that we don't need to do any massive mining expeditions. Not just yet, anyway. And we are nearly home as well. I do apologise for how dark it is. We got caught in a troll cave, and when we stepped out it was nighttime already, so it's already fairly dark and difficult to see things. I'm pretty sure I recognise this massive willow tree on the way back to our base, so we should be back fairly shortly. I think we should also be on with making our troll leather helmet, or we're going to make the troll hide cape. One of those two. We need to complete the set, and I have done a little bit of research from our previous episode, and I've discovered that you do need to have all 4 pieces of the gear or the armor set equipped in order to get the bonus from it, the set bonus. Obviously with the troll hide armor you get a set bonus of plus 15 to your sneak skill. Makes you extra sneaky. Ah, there we are, back home. That mist was making it difficult to see. And yeah, so you need to have all 4 pieces. That's the helmet, the tunic, the trousers, and the cape, which will then make you extra sneaky, and yeah, will increase your sneak bonus. So yeah, we're just going to make that. Plus you also get a nice armor boost from the troll hide armor. I mean, I was explaining in our previous episode that the main reason why I've gone for the troll hide armor is that it's good enough in this biome that you don't really need to have the metal armor, the bronze armor. We are still going to make it. It'll probably be the last thing on our list that we craft in terms of bronze equipment and tools and stuff like that. But we will make the bronze armor just so you can actually see the difference in move speed and movement and stuff like that when it comes to it. But you can also see the difference in the terms of damage reduction. But as you can see there, we've just made our troll leather hood. We're going to put it on and watch our armor go from 14 all the way up to 18. Once we've got the troll hide cape, which I believe gives us 1 armor, we will have 19. So we've gone from 6 armor to 19 armor in 4 pieces of gear, which is very, very good. It's a very good jump. You can obviously see our ancient seed we've got there. This chest in the middle we're just going to keep for mostly Black Forest stuff for the time being until we decide to split things off even further. But we will have a more in-depth storage system once we've unlocked the next level of chests, which is from the swamp. And I'll show those to you once we've actually got there. And I mentioned this a few episodes ago, and I've actually decided to do it now because I'm sick and tired of the "you feel cold" message popping up in my screen whilst I'm in my house. So I'm actually going to move the campfire into the middle of the flat. Sorry, I was thinking about where I was living earlier, so that got stuck in my head. We're going to move the campfire to the middle of the house. We're also going to put 3 cooking stations on it rather than 2 this time. We should be able to fit a 3rd one in there, just so we can cook 6 pieces of meat rather than 4 when we do actually need to cook them. We will get other cooking stations and stuff like that in the future, but we'll stick with these kind of rudimentary wooden ones to start off with. These look a little bit too close to me, so I think we do actually need some more wood as well. But yeah, we'll stick these 3 down and crack on with that. There we go. Sorry, you could probably tell there my pickiness was kind of showing through because when I when I went to the side of the campfire to have a look at where it was positioned, it wasn't positioned in the right place for my mind, so I had to knock it down and reposition it. I'm still a bit iffy about that cooking station on the left. I think is going to be a bit too far left, but I think we should be able to still make use of all 6 of the cooking slots on there without it being an issue. We'll just have to get over it, get over ourselves a little bit. And we've just slept through the evening. We are now on day 13. Not too bad at all. We're nearly at the end of our 2nd week in this new world. It's very misty this morning as well. And hopefully our chimney is still operational. I believe it is. Obviously the room hasn't filled with smoke overnight, so we're all fine. And yeah, like I said earlier, we are just going to go north and explore a bit more of this meadows biome to the north, try and find some more black forest. We do want to find quite a large biome of it, and hopefully none that are connected to any mountains or any other biomes, so that we get a fair amount of things like crypts and blueberry bushes and thistles and just all that good stuff. Some more trolls as well. Stuff like that, although I do know we are going to have to travel quite far in order to find a decent amount of it. Let's just feed the piggies. I did say I was going to do that earlier, so we'll do that now. With the pigs, they will go hungry after a while when they don't have any food. I'm not sure what happens after that. I'm not sure if they're going to become like untamed or if they'll die because they haven't eaten. I would assume they'll probably just die after a while if they not get fed. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure about how that works because I've never tested it. I always try and make sure all my tame animals are fed. But they won't breed as well. They do need food in order to breed. So yeah, you are going to have to keep up a steady supply of raspberries and other fruit and veg for them if you want them to continue breeding, if you want to keep slaughtering them. Like I've said, I'm just going to give them the bare minimum for the time being. I don't really care about them breeding too much. We're not going to increase the size of the pen just yet because we're not using boar meat on a regular enough basis to need constant resupplying. So yeah, we will leave them for now. Just have a quick check of these raspberry bushes. I'm straight up. I think I've mentioned this earlier as well, but I am quite shocked that they still haven't regrown. These could be, those bushes just there could be bushes that I found earlier in an earlier episode, like a day or 2 ago. And maybe, you know, those are the ones I picked then. And it's because we haven't done a big farm yet, but there's even more here that are marked, and they haven't regrown either. Again, these could just be bushes that I found recently and I've picked them, so they haven't regrown, haven't had a chance to, but we do need to go on a bit of a raspberry farm at some point just to make sure these bushes are actually regrowing. Because I think in an earlier, like one of the first couple of episodes, I said that raspberries regrow after like a couple of days, but then I would have thought these would have regrown by now. Again, I'm probably just being paranoid about it. This grayling doesn't want to leave us alone. Get stabbed. Annoying little devil. I'm not even going to go back and pick up your resin because I just don't care how much I dislike graylings. Plus resin you'll get tons of. You need tons of it over the course of a playthrough, but you get tons and tons of resin. Graylings are the one thing that just don't leave you alone. I suppose it kind of depends on where you put your main base. You can put your main base in any biome whatsoever. There are plenty of good building materials and structures that you can make that will defend against pretty much any type of enemy attack. As long as you're there to make sure it's defended and the enemies are killed. If they're just left to freely attack anything, they'll probably deal enough damage to destroy it, but yeah, you can have a base pretty much in any biome and it's safe enough. I'd probably say the only place I wouldn't really build a base currently is the Ashlands. I've been in the Ashlands for all of about 5 minutes on another world, and I got my behind absolutely handed to me several times over. So I don't know, I'm a bit cautious about approaching the Ashlands. I should probably get in there and experience it before doing it on this playthrough so that I can actually give you some hints and advice rather than just seeing it for the first time myself. But yeah, let's just say my initial foray into this, into the Ashlands biome was not a good foray. And you have to travel for a very, very, very long time to get there. It's the most southern part of the map. And I imagine if you could see an uncovered map, there is a cold bit to the far north as well. So I imagine that's probably going to be the next biome. We've got the Ashlands, and this will probably be, what, the Snowlands or the Frostlands or something? Maybe the Frostlands. Maybe there'll even be some frost giants in there. Fingers crossed. Older brothers to the trolls, maybe. This is all guesswork from me. None of this is official or confirmed or anything like that. So don't take anything I say with a... I'll take everything I say with a pinch of salt because... yeah, I don't have any direct line to the devs, so I don't know what their future plans would be. My guess would be from the current state of the game and the areas of the map that have been developed that the lands to the north would be the next bits developed. But again, I'm not 100% sure on that. They might do something else in the meantime. They might do a big patch update where they just update all the other biomes. I will say that in this current playthrough of... the Valheim that I'm doing, since all the other updates, there hasn't really been much that's changed in terms of the initial starting biomes. There isn't much that needs to change. I don't know, maybe the taming could do with a bit of work. Having to just sit around next to the animals that you're taming for half an hour waiting for them to be tamed is a bit of a nightmare. Although I'm not sure if you have to be next to them or not. I've never actually tested just leaving for half an hour, but I would imagine that you need to be. In terms of guides and stuff that I've read for it, everyone has said you need to be next to them, you can't just leave, so maybe that needs a bit of work. Maybe you should be able to go off and do other things whilst you're taming, but I wouldn't really say there's a huge amount else that really needs work, like changing and updating or anything like that. You know, maybe they could add some more stuff to it, but again, this is all just... these are my own thoughts on the game. This isn't anything official or anything like that. Yeah, like I said, we are just going to continue exploring this this meadows biome to the north. It is quite a large island that we've started on. I remember one of my previous playthroughs, the boss stones where you put the trophies after a kill was right next to the coast. Literally the entire thing was on the coast, and the actual island itself was tiny, whereas this one's huge. It's almost like an entire continent, this one. I am looking forward to getting our next level of boat where we can, you know, have an increased amount of speed and maneuverability and stuff so that I can actually take it on a navigation around the entire coast of this island. I'd love to see how big the thing actually is. But yeah, it's quite large, as you can tell. It's a very large starting island, but larger than I've actually experienced so far. Just going to go on a bit of a wander. Bit to the north. I think we have seen Black Forest and a mountain to the north, so we are going to go up this way. Hopefully there's quite a large Black Forest biome. Ooh, this is another abandoned village. But yeah, there is quite a large Black Forest biome that's attached to the mountain to the north, or hopefully there is anyway. Ah, so these are stacks of logs. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get the same benefit from these as you would if you'd built them yourself, but one of the things, I believe I've mentioned this in a previous episode as well, but one of the things the developers put in over the expansions they've released so far, or sorry, over the updates they've done so far, is that when you have a stack of 50 stone or wood, I think you can do it with bone and other items as well now, you don't have to have them stored in a chest or chucked on the floor. You can build these things like these stacks of wood or these stacks of stone that equal 50 stone, and then when you break them with the hammer you get all 50 back. So it's just another way to store, like a decorative way of storing huge amounts of wood and stone and stuff like that. So again, it's another one of those quality of life features they've added, which I really appreciate. Nope, nothing in here but a bed. Bit unsuccessful so far. Really, I'm quite surprised at the sheer lack of bees that we've managed to find. Oh, hello. This is another Eikthyr spawner. Another, yeah, it's definitely Eikthyr. Yeah, it is, yeah, it's marked it on the map as well. Look how close is this to our home base? Not bad whatsoever. That's just... to be fair, it's a little bit further away than the original one, but yeah. I'm surprised to see the second one on the same island. I guess that's just the generation of this world. It's randomly generated every time. That's why it runs on the seed basis. Oh, here's an abandoned church that's pretty much falling down. Could there be some bees in here? Pretty please. Nope, just a raspberry bush. Yeah, okay. And a chest as well, but no bees. We are being very unsuccessful with our bee hunt. It's not the greatest, I'll be honest. Usually, again, at this point, I actually went back onto a world of mine that I'd stopped playing on ages ago, that was midway through the Black Forest, only a little bit further ahead from where this playthrough currently is, and that world had 7 bee farms or beehives from bees that I'd found out and about just in the initial exploring, and I hadn't, the playtime on it isn't that much more than this either, so yeah. Just to further prove the point of how shocked I am at the sheer lack of bees this biome has. Come on, Meadows. Give us some darn bees. We need them. They are important. Just going to stop by that runestone. It's one I haven't actually seen before, so that might be a new thing they've added. Oh, another abandoned village. Very nice. Lots of boars in here. I don't really want to kill them because we don't really need them. Again, I have mentioned this earlier on in the playthrough. Probably one of the first episodes I mentioned it, which is about the breeding and what would the word be? I don't know what it means, but the actual, the habitats for the animals themselves. So with boars and deer and stuff like that, if you were to continually exterminate the boar and deer in the area around your base, they would eventually stop spawning there, and, they'd obviously just go off somewhere else. And every time you'd see them, they'd only be basic levels. Ah! Yes! Bee nest, or beehive. Finally. Okay, so with the beehive, it's just that kind of hivey thing that sat on the roof. In order to get the beehive, you need to shoot it down with a bow, or if you can climb up high enough, you might be able to hit it with a weapon. But if you get too close to the beehive, you will be poisoned, obviously, stung by the bees. There are natural bees around it, and they will sting you if you get too close. The damage isn't too high, but just be careful with that. Then once you've shot it down, you can see there we picked up a queen bee and honey. So we finally have our first queen bee. Thank Christ, we've finally found one. It's taken a long time to find this. That's very fortuitous. We definitely needed that, so we're going to build that and put her in it when we get home so that we have a hive of our own naturally producing honey over time, which we're going to need a lot of. Continue going. Let's just get this bit uncovered to the south. I don't like having huge, sections just covered up like that, because it's a bit of an eyesore. Again, that's my pickiness showing through. I don't like having covered sections of the map, especially smaller bits that you could literally just walk through for 10 seconds and it would uncover it and, and take it off the map. But yeah, again, it's my pickiness showing through there. We only got 1 bit of honey from that. That's very strange. Usually get about 4 or 5 from the hive. Guess it was maybe a fairly new hive. Oh, there's another burial area. And some bone in there. Yes, we have skeletal fragments. Thank you very much. Rested buff has just worn off as well. Actually, yeah, I think we're about halfway through the day, so I might stick a campfire down. I think we need a bit more stone to do that. Yeah, there we go. Get some couple of bits of stone. Oh, some more raspberries. This should be quite useful. I would say that the amount of raspberries we've passively found as we've played through so far have kind of done us a lot more in terms of, you're not needing to mark every single one of them on the map, but we haven't needed to go and farm any raspberries. But again, this is for much later on in the playthrough when we need a mass amount of them, and we're using massive amounts of them so we can gather a lot in a small period of time. Just so we can prevent having to run around in circles just hoping for raspberry bushes and trying to find them. Whereas if we have a preset route that we can run around and follow this route, we can get a high amount of them fairly quickly, which would be more desirable, I would say. I actually think this would be a pretty good place to stop this episode. So yeah, it's been about 19-20 minutes. Yeah, we'll stop this one here. So won't be very long before we come back with the next episode, so thank you all for watching this one. We'll do a little bit more exploring in our next episode, and yeah, thanks all for watching. Catch you in the next one.